addition to that, I've had the opportunity to work with the junior players, and in working with the junior players, I've helped the young kids in developing their character and pride as they compete and accomplish their goals. Once again, I want to thank all of you for coming. I've seen some folks I haven't seen in quite a number of years. It's an utmost pleasure that you came tonight, and I appreciate all of you coming to hear us speak and tell you about our adventures. Thank you very much.
You know, it just strikes me that obviously, and you know much more than I, the history of golf in the state of Virginia and how important it is, how big the game is here. But to be a member of the Hall of Fame in this state is special. To be a member of the inaugural class, think about that, is extra special. So again, congratulations, Clyde, on the honor tonight, and everybody shares it with you here. The first and thus far the only man since Ben Hogan to win consecutive U.S. Opens. That was in 1988 and 1989. Curtis Strange became a member of the World Golf Hall of Fame in 2007 and the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame in 2004. Got some nice ties, too. Native of Virginia Beach, he became the leading money winner on the PGA Tour in 1985. 1987, and 1988. In '88, he was the first tour pro to win $1 million in official money. He's bought a few dinners, hasn't he? No, he hasn't? Oh, we learned it. Curtis won 17 PGA Tour titles. Like fellow Virginia Golf Hall inductees Harper and Giles, he won consecutive VSGA amateur crowns in 1974 and 1975. He played on 5 Ryder Cup teams and captained the 2002 U.S. side. One of the great names, modern golf, and also one of the special broadcasters I know because I've worked alongside him, Curtis Strange. The Virginia Golf Hall of Fame is proud to induct Curtis Strange as a member of its inaugural class in recognition of many years of excellence and outstanding contributions to the game of golf in Virginia and beyond, presented on this 10th day of May, 2016.
Thank you, my friend, Terry. And I would just like to say to Terry, thanks for making the effort and being here tonight. It means a great deal to all of us. I first want to say to Clyde, congratulations. You have given your time and your energy, and more so than us, to grow this game, to be a part of this game, and we appreciate everything you have done over the years. Thank you very much. To my fellow inductees, congratulations. I think it's pretty cool to be part of this first class, to be quite honest with you. You see, I'm the young guy. I'm the young guy in this class, and I was the follower, and I was the guy that was so impressed and so inspired by everyone out there. I first want to say thank you to a lot of people. I think you get a chance in your life only a few times to say thank you for those who helped you along the way. My dad started me, as you all know, in the game, gave me the fundamentals in which I could grow on. My mom, who carted me all over this state for many years to VSGA events. Jordan and Pat Ball. Jordan was always there, hell of a player in his own right, as you all know. Jordan was, after Dad passed, Jordan was there. Probably I should say those times in the house when it got a bit prickly and he had to control things, but always there, and thank you very much, Jordan and Pat. My brother, who I talk to every Sunday night and Monday morning in my life. He's the only guy that I could rely on for the honest comment about the way I was swinging, the way I was playing, or whatever it might be. My coach, I always think about, you know, we grow up in all different athletics, and the people that influenced me so much were your coaches, isn't that right? And my coach at Princess Anne, Leo Anthony, taught me how to compete, taught me how to prepare to compete. I'll never forget what he taught me. Jesse Haddock at Wake Forest University gave me the chance. He gave me the chance. And many friends around the state of Virginia, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, people that have no idea how much you influenced or helped me along the way. Colleagues, friends, at tournaments, basketball games, it doesn't make any difference. Thank you very much. But you know who really inspired me? Who really inspired me? The guys being inducted here tonight. Think about it. Alan and I used to practice at Bow Creek and try to swing like Sam. We learned early on we couldn't do it, but we could take bits and pieces and become better players. He was the best. I idolized Sam. He was the best swinger there ever was. He was to me, the best champion there ever was in this game, to win as many tournaments as he did over the long period of time that he did. I think the best thing about Tiger Woods stuck on 79 tournaments, don't get me wrong. Sam has the record at 82. Tiger getting closer to Sam makes Sam relevant again. Isn't that true? We read about Sam. Not that it was ever irrelevant to any of us, but sometimes I think we have to remind the youth of today how damn good they were, and he was. Chandler, I spoke of Chandler earlier. He meant so much to me. Quick story, I spoke a moment ago about Chandler, but I'll tell you what he taught me was to compete and to play the game. There was a night before a North-South finals, which I was going to play in the next day. I was nervous. I didn't know what to do. I called Mr. Harper, and we talked, and finally he said to me, "Boy, it doesn't matter what you've accomplished so far this week. It means nothing until you win tomorrow." Think about it. It sounds a bit harsh, but it's what we need to hear as competitors. He taught me so much. I think you get the gist of what we're doing here tonight. Vinny's done the same thing. I couldn't go without talking about these guys that have meant so much to me over the years. Vinny Giles. When I was young, growing up in the state as a junior, Vinny was Virginia Golf. I'm 61 years old, and Vinny is Virginia Golf. Always has been and always will be. He is what we juniors growing up around my area aspired to be. He became an amateur champion, a British amateur champion, Walker Cupper, all these accolades that only the top can achieve. You think about a junior and having that as a role model. But the thing I think about more about Vinny than anything else, he was the ultimate competitor. And Vinny talked about Chandler's short game. Let me tell you something, pal, I wanted your short game too. It's an honor to come in here with you in the first class, Vinny. Lanny, Langston, I first met Lanny in 1964 at Bow Creek, state junior. He was 14, I was 9. He won. He was the guy that was in my eyesight. He was the guy that was relatable to me because he was just ahead of me. Think about the two role models I had, Vinny and Lanny. I played in a Carolina-Virginia match one year when I was playing alongside the last two national amateur champions. Think about it, the two best players in the country. They don't know this, but I'm walking around with the eyes this big, on cloud nine, and soaking up everything I could possibly soak up to be as good as these two guys were. Lanny, I followed Lanny to Wake Forest and then on tour. And what I say about Lanny when I think of Lanny Watkins is, you know, he wasn't the best putter in the world. But if there was a putt to be made on the last hole, he'd be at the top of my list. Lanny had big kahunas, very big. And that's what I loved about him. When I got the call here months ago, I really couldn't quite understand why me. Because all these players I just talked about in their own way helped me along the way and got me up on this stage tonight. I thank you for this honor. I thank the VSGA for everything you have done to the game, to help us, to promote the game, to promote junior golf. We couldn't be here without you, without a doubt. To Gib and all your hard work for this evening, it's been fantastic. And I have only one more wish, that we could all do it again. Thank you very much.
By the way, you know that saying, it's a trite saying, but a guy who you'd want to be in the trench with you when all is on the line, in the foxhole, that last guy, he'd be on my short list right there. And he and our next inductee are without question two of the greatest competitors ever in the game. A Richmond native and a resident of Dallas, Lanny Watkins became a member of the World Golf Hall of Fame in 2009 and the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame in 1996. In 1970, he had an amazing year as an amateur. Think about this, winning the U.S. Amateur, the Southern Amateur, the Western Amateur, and the VSGA Amateur, all in the same year. Lanny's 21 PGA Tour titles include the 1977 PGA Championship, which he won in a playoff over Gene Littler. He played in 8 Ryder Cups and captained the U.S. side in 1995. Please welcome Lanny Watkins. The Virginia Golf Hall of Fame is proud to induct Lanny Watkins as a member of its inaugural class in recognition of many years of excellence and outstanding contributions to the game of golf in Virginia and beyond, presented on this 10th day of May, 2016.
Wow, you got a picture of Tucker and I right here. It's kind of gets me a little bit, but thank you very much. I really love the fact that we had an NC State guy introducing 2 Wake Forest guys going in the Hall of Fame. They just kind of really made the night for me more than anything else. First, I really want to thank the VSGA and the Omni Homestead. When I think about golf in Virginia, I think of this place up here. It was where we played our state amateur every year as a kid growing up. Like Vinny, the first time I played here, I was 14 years old, and the memories came flooding back today when we played the Cascades course. So it was really a treat, and I just want to thank Gib Palmer and the VSGA for this honor. Just amazing. Thank you, thank you. I think you can tell how touched we all are, how much it means to us. You know, Virginia's my home. Even though I've been in Dallas for a long time, you know, had Vinny gone ahead and built Kinloch about 25 years ago, I'd have been back Richmond a long time ago. He was too slow in getting it done. Now I'm settled in. But first person I really want to take a moment and thank tonight is Popeye Lumpkin. He was a pro at Meadowbrook Country Club that really took Bobby and I under our wings when we were kids. And my dad didn't have the time to spend with us on the golf course. I mean, my parents worked all the time and really didn't have the time to be there. So Pop was our mentor and our teacher. And my Christmas gift every year was a set of clubs from him for Christmas. And that's how I, moved up all the time. I mean, he gave me his hand-me-down golf shoes, and I wore them till they were too small, and I continued to wear them. But he, was the one person that took Bobby and I under his wing and worked on our games. And when he was alive, I never played poorly. He could fix me in five minutes on a practice tee, and it was, it's just, he was alive to see me win the amateur. Well, see me win a lot of things, not quite the amateur because I won it later in '70, but he saw a lot of things, and it was really pretty neat that, he got to see what we did, what we were trying to become. I want to say congratulations to Clyde Luther. When people donate give their lives to this game and the way that he has and so many officials have over the years, it's selflessness. It's, they're giving something that we couldn't have golf tournaments without people like Clyde and the other volunteers that are out there every week on tour. I really got to know Clyde when my oldest son, Travis, who's here, was playing at Wake Forest. And as a lot of you know, in Clyde, those damn college rounds take 6 hours. So I was looking for Clyde to sit down in his cart somewhere, while we were watching the kids play. But it was always fun to see Clyde. He was at almost every event that actually became friends with several of the Pete Blaisdell's another one I became friends with at a couple of NCAAs. So see some of these guys over the years was really kind of neat. But Clyde's a wonderful man, and I'm honored to be going in with Clyde. And then Chandler, I really didn't really know. I knew of Chandler. He was before my time, but I love the older players in the game, and I appreciate what they did, how they did it. I was very aware of his records, what he had won, and just an amazing performer. I wish I had had the opportunity to know and play with him. Now, Sam Snead, a whole different story. I go back far enough that I played with Sam Snead. Hell, I played in the Masters with Gene Saracen, tells you how old I am. But I played with Sam Snead. Vinny was talking about the Open at Oakmont in '73. Well, Sam and I were paired the first 2 rounds together that week, along with Ben Crenshaw, who was an amateur. Then the final round of that Open, Vinny and I were paired together again right in front of Johnny Miller shooting 63 the last round. So we got to see the history up close and personal. So that was kind of cool. But I played a lot of golf with Sam, and we were really good friends. And I think he enjoyed my company. I enjoyed his. And we traveled some together, did some overseas tournaments together. And I love being around Sam. I mean, growing up, the cool thing for me is Sam was my hero growing up, always was my hero. Nobody else but Sam Snead. So to get to play with him was just a bonus in life that I didn't expect. I mean, what other sport do you grow up and get to play with your heroes? Nothing but golf. The other hero, Vinnie Giles. When I was coming up, I mean, he was the man. First time I saw Vinnie, I was at Boonesboro. I had an uncle that belonged to Boonesboro, Ralph Burnett, and we were playing at Boonesboro, and Vinnie came whipping along there, and we all stepped aside and let the young whippersnapper go through with his buddies, and couldn't get over how far he hit it, and was really impressive. And as I went through my amateur career, he's far and away the toughest guy I ever played against. I never beat him in match play. Thank God we had medal play, or I'd have never beaten him. And I love the fact that I remember he'd won a bunch of state amateurs, and they were tired of Vinnie winning, so they changed it to medal play. Well, the year they changed it to medal play, he only won by 15 shots. What I remember about that week was as soon as we got through the state amateur here at Hot Springs, Vinnie and Bobby and I got in a car and drove all night long to Palm Beach to play the Southern Amateur at Lost Tree. And Vinny and Bobby was only 16 at the time. We were a little shaky on him driving. So Vinny and I were taking turns driving the whole way down there. Finally, middle of the night, we were getting just beat up. So, all right, we'll let the kid drive. Well, next thing we know, Bobby's about to slide us under the back end of a tractor-trailer truck. That was the last time he saw the keys the whole week. But he's been a great friend and a great associate of mine for a long, long time. And then Curtis, I mean, I got to tell you, Curtis mentioned it right there at Bow Creek. That was my first VSGA win at the VSGA Junior when I was 14 years old at Bow Creek. I remember distinctly his dad putting on a clinic. And he was the first guy, I mean, he had a beautiful golf swing. He hit the ball beautifully. But he's the first guy I ever saw tee it up, take a full swing with the driver, top it on purpose, and hit it 6 inches. The other thing that stood out to me about that clinic, well, there were these cute little twin boys sitting behind Tom while he did that clinic. Of course, that doesn't seem much for cute because it turned out to be Curtis and Alan. But what a competitor Curtis turned out to be. I mean, I knew when we got him at Wake Forest, we were in for a treat, and of course, he brought us our first NCAA championships. And I've always had the utmost respect for his tenacity, his fight, his guts, and the way he played the game. It made me feel right at home. And I'll make it very, very simple. When I had 2 captain's picks when I was Ryder Cup captain, he was number 1. So I wanted that boy on my side. I'm glad I had him there. And I want to say a special thanks to my brother Bobby, who's here tonight. I said this at the World Golf Hall of Fame induction. There's probably no 2 people that have played the amount of rounds together that we have. And if I hadn't had him pushing me every single step of the way, I don't think I'd be up here tonight. And, Coach Haddock who I played for and Curtis played for, had a great line. He said, I made a big mistake not recruiting Bobby. He said, I never saw him win anything. Well, then I figured out later on it was because he was runner-up to you all the time. Well, when Bobby got to East Tennessee State, he won a whole bunch of tournaments there in college. Excuse me. But I owe Bobby a lot, and, like Curtis and Alan, we talk all the time, and I'm still lucky. I get to see him every week out there on Champions Tour. I'm doing TV, and he's playing, and, we're spending a lot of time together, so it's really, really cool and great. So very special, and again, thank you, Bobby. I appreciate it. And lastly, I want to thank my wife, Penny, who's here, and my oldest boy, Travis. Got a picture of Tucker right here on the screen in front of me, and Tucker and I won the father-son together this year, which was maybe the coolest thing I've ever won in my life. Everything else that they've mentioned, winning that with Tucker and having Travis on the bag caddying for him was absolutely incredible. And but Curtis knows what our wives go through out there on a regular basis. The schedule is awful, the travel's tough, and if you want to be successful at this game, at some point in time you've got to be a bastard and you've got to be pretty selfish to get the job done. And I just thank the Lord for Penny that she's been there and stayed there with me and helped me through all this, and I think we've been a good team. Sorry. Again, thanks for a wonderful evening. I didn't think going last would be this tough. I'm used to leading off and going fast and playing, getting it over with. But again, thank everyone from the VSGA. Been an absolutely wonderful evening. I think it's been, for Vinny and Curtis and Clyde and myself, it's probably exceeded our expectations. We are truly, truly honored to be in the inaugural class of the Virginia State Golf Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Wake Forest, we all have our cross to bear in life. Yep. You dealt with it well, though, Lanny. As we come to a conclusion tonight, one final maybe round of applause, if not final, at least one right now for those in attendance, the inductees. A very special, special honor tonight. And I think the last two gentlemen who were up here in World Golf Hall of Fame, and yes, how meaningful that is, but somehow maybe even a different level to be recognized at home, a little deeper in a different part there. I think so. Hope you've enjoyed this first dinner and induction ceremony for the Virginia Golf Hall of Fame. Class of 2017, as we look ahead, and subsequent years will accept nominations from the public for this hall. So you get a chance to be a part of it. A nomination form will be available on the website, so check that out, please. Deadline for the nominations for the class of 2017 is September 15th, 2016. Shortly thereafter, members of the 2017 Selection Committee will begin deliberations on next year's honorees. The class of 2017 will be inducted May 18th, 2017 at the Country Club of Virginia in Richmond. For the next class and for all subsequent classes, there'll be at least one member of the Hall of Fame on the Selection Committee, and the man to serve for 2017 next year will be Mr. Vinnie Giles. He'll be on that committee. So as I say goodnight, just on a personal note, tonight was special for me, and I will claim to be a part of Virginia golf history. I don't know if it's offered, but I'm going to claim it from this point forward because I was a part of this night, the inaugural class